What is up, everybody? Welcome to Optimal Self Conversations, where we talk to incredible people who, through adversity, grit, and persistence, are forging the path of being the best version of themselves. They join us here to give you the tools to do the same. I'm just going to get straight to it. If you are a small business, if you are a real estate investor, and you are looking to get fresh available credit to use to funding your business, EIN credit, this is where you want to be. Spend the next 30, 60 minutes with us because my man, Hafiz Ladani is here. We've been on the phone a few times. Man, I can't get enough of this guy. He got incredible insights into how to do it. And man, we're going to share with you guys exactly what to do and how to get there. So, Hafiz, thanks, brother. Thanks for being here, man. How you doing?
Oh man, it's been a wonderful week. There's been I guess I've been keeping track of it on a spreadsheet because they've been coming in around the clock. So I made a post on Facebook about a book I wanted to give away just for some knowledge that would promote the course that I'm doing. I spent the last 8 weeks creating a course called Build BIZ Credit Report. Now the book got 508 email submissions to request the book. I didn't have a website set up, so I didn't want to do a disservice to the people, and so I went through it all by hand and took the email addresses and names down, and then I hired a guy off of Fiverr to create me a simple website to deliver the PDF.
I love it, dude. I love it. Hey, before we get into all that, let's get these people up to date with who you are, man. So I always say to people, and I've said this to you when we first met, is that nobody falls on top of the mountain, right? Everybody that you see in this world, everybody who has some form of success, everybody who's out there pushing the envelope, pushing their edge of greatness, everybody who's doing that started somewhere. They've all had obstacles to overcome. They've all had different types of things in their lives to get to where they are. So let's go back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you, about how did you grow up? Where are you from? Like, what are the things that make you the man that you are today?
Wow. Well, I was born in Toronto, Canada. Our family's Indian from India, but the unique thing is that my parents grew up in East Africa in Uganda. And my grandfather was a tailor. He made all the uniforms for the British boarding school, made pretty good money for the local economy, and he was able to put his 6, 7, 8, 9 children into they all went to the British boarding school. So 74, 75, Idi Amin Dada took over the country of Uganda, and he nationalized it and kicked out everybody that wasn't black. We had 48 hours or just under a week to leave. So we applied through the British to Canada for refugee status, and they put us on a plane to Heathrow and then to Toronto. This is my parents' story because I was born in Toronto a few years later in 1980, and my sister was born in 1981. So we're Canadian citizens, like first generation Canadian citizens. At this time, my parents have emigrated to the States. They're still Canadian citizens, but they have an entrepreneur, an E2 visa, and they own the Diamond and Gold Depot in the mall in North Charleston, South Carolina. They love the weather, so I don't think they're ever going back, but the healthcare in Canada is so great that they're keeping a hold of that. And for myself, I followed my parents down a few years later, and they put me on a path to get a green card, which everything was fine. My green card was approved in April of 2001. My birthday was May of 2001. So we got a phone call from the Homeland Security office that issues your passport and ID and stuff. And they told me that you've been approved as a minor for the green card. But the situation is, if we give it to you right now, it's going to expire in 3 weeks. So we're just going to refile it as an adult and send you the adult one. So like, okay, I was thinking it's going to come by May. You know, my birthday's on May 17th. This is going to come in a couple of weeks. It's all going to be good. They're calling me to let me know. But then 9/11 happened. It was like literally May June, July, August, September, September 11th, and then everything froze. So for 7 years, I never got my green card. I wasn't able to get my social security number and set up my business life in the U.S. And I came from Canada, and we're not like a third world country. We're expecting some type of services when we show up and be able to go to the bank, right, and have ID and stuff like that. Just getting a driver's license was a big issue. So I had to learn how to exist as part of the unbanked economy, and I never knew that I could have just started a business credit profile. As a Canadian citizen, I could have got an ITIN, foreign tax ID number, and my parents had already set up a LLC and actually purchased a business when they moved from Canada. So they had purchased business credit, basically they inherited business credit. But knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have wanted to wait. I would have wanted to apply myself and learn new business credit, because knowing what I know now, it can be done in 90 days, and then you'd have access to 6 figures of EIN only business credit. So that was my roundabout reason for discovering it. And I don't know, I read an ebook, I watched a video, it just caught my interest, and I went deeper down the rabbit hole.
Let me ask you this again, because that your story is fascinating, and the cool thing for me is in Optimal Self Conversations is I get to do this, and I get to meet some of the most interesting people in the world, man. Who, and again, even through you, like your success and where you're going, the things that you're actually building are to help people are incredible. But when we set ourselves up to help people, the majority of the time that we do that is because it's something that we didn't have when we were in that position, right? But I want to ask you a couple of questions around, I mean, because again, the stuff that your parents directly went through, right? Because you're first generation in Canadian, but for them, what they had to go through, can you share with us, like the audience, like what stories? Because your dad, now owning the Gold Depot, being the entrepreneur that he is and the business owner that he is, I mean, think of it sticks in my mind, like what it must have been like, right? Exiled in a way, right? And having to apply for citizenship and all the things that he had to go through, but yet he just kept going. He persevered to get to where he is, and obviously there are things that trickle down from that, right? We talk a lot, Hafiz, here about, people want to build generational wealth. People want to, they want to give their kids more than they had or better than they had it, kind of thing. But the truth is that's the absolute wrong way to look at it. The right way and the reason is because if you don't, you can give them anything. Most of the time, the wealth is gone within a single or 2 generations. Because why? Because the money or the wealth and the assets can run out, right? Because if you don't build the habits that it takes, if you don't build the values and standards and principles that it takes to achieve that wealth, or to, like your father, to break through the things that are, he could have easily sat in his chair and been like, woe is me, why are they doing this to us, right? And all that. But he didn't. He stepped into himself. He created himself. He created a life for you and your family. He created this whole other opportunity for himself in spite of that. So what are some of the lessons that you've heard from him or learned from him, or some of the things that maybe you're even adopting now? Because you kind of did it yourself, right? I didn't have this. I went down a little rabbit hole. Not only did I go down the rabbit hole, I dug as far as I could to learn and grow and aspire to be and use this. So go down that road with me a little bit.
Well, I matured in my quest for knowledge. I started off by using Google and trying to get everything for free. I did that for years, and I went in circles. I learned a little bit about a lot of things. So I was like a supreme generalist, you know what I mean? I didn't really know the exact formula or recipe, though, to pull it off. Now, I found out that behind the paywall, of all of these places that I've been avoiding giving my credit card to, um, that's where all the curated, really good content is. So I went off on a mission to start collecting all the how-tos, the internet marketings, the finance, the real estate, the credit repair, the business credit building, the funding, all these knowledges. And wow, like I gotta say, a lot of it is recycled, repetitive. A lot of these courses, people don't, finish them. If people did buckle down and get through the content and make it through, it's like learning something on YouTube. You might have to watch millions of hours of video, but the content's there, it's free, so you'll get the education. But I always wanted to create my own course because the knowledge I was collecting was huge, and I knew I could really distill it down and teach it. But it wasn't until 8 weeks ago where I met a lady named Marisa Murgatroyd and her husband Murray Gray. And they encouraged me to set up a course to teach other people. And 8 weeks later, this is the product, which we're going to spend the next week finishing up all of the onboarding sequences, the emails. The website is going live this weekend, the one that's on the bottom. It's already up with some information there, and the sales page will be done by the weekend, and an email will go out to everybody. So it's live. It's in the process of waking up and becoming an actual community. I want that to be the promise. Like, I can teach people, and I can do it with a one-to-one private coaching package where I'll take them by the hand for 90 days, either start a new LLC or take their existing LLC, and we'll work with that and get it funded by structuring the credit data points right over 90 days. And then we will take them for funding, which is what people that don't know what to do can't do. They can't structure your thing. They'll take money for structuring your account, but then you won't be able to get funded, and you've already paid them. So I wanted to come up with a course that had a partner, a major lending partner that would be able to get my students funded as part of the guarantee in the course. That's the product that we've come up with today. So we've discussed small business owners and real estate investors, but the funding partner that I've teamed up with also allows me to offer $20 million of EIN only credit for mergers and acquisitions. And this changes everything. Instead of starting a business, we can literally go and buy a business that's existing with existing cash flow.
Yeah, that's really powerful. So the people that are listening, right? Like, what is the like, if you could give somebody a tip, right? To say, hey, look, this is where you need to start, right? Of course, going live with you, coaching with you, I mean, all the things that are beneficial, but getting to the stage where they're at now, what is that first step that you see most people either not taking or doing wrong?
Sure. Well, a lot of people have had the experience of being turned down by a lender or an approval process, but not have any indication why. They never got the reason, and they're not supposed to know. That's a bad feeling. But what happens is every approval officer has the discretion to use their gut feeling to say whether they want to lend to the person or not, and not even look at the credit score. It's up to them. So you want to go through what's called a business fundability inspection. It's kind of like buying a used car, where you will have a mechanic check out various points on the car according to a schedule and make sure that everything is up to date and you can fix anything that needs to be updated. And then that's a good certified used car from that point. You know what I mean? So with your business, we want to make sure you have a business address, that you're not using your home address. We want to make sure you have a dedicated business phone number, that you're not using your cell phone. If you have a 1-800 number with a virtual office and a live receptionist picking it up, they're getting your email your mail and forwarding it to you by email as PDFs. They're getting faxes and forwarding them to you as PDFs and taking your calls and presenting your business address that you have an office there in a nice corporate office building somewhere downtown. You can get a virtual office from like Opus or Regis or a company like that, or iPostal. So there's a lot more. You want to get your social media set up for your business. You want to get a business website and have business email, not a Gmail. You want to have your domain name .com. So jeremy@jeremy.com. And you want to have a Duns and Bradstreet number. When you're building business credit, a lot of people don't know, but there's this other credit bureau called D&B, Dun and Bradstreet. And you get a D&B number for free, so you might as well do it. And when you set up your, what I teach in my course is going through 90 days from scratch and will generate your first Paydex score, which is what they call the Dun and Bradstreet score. And our goal is to have your score generated at least a number 80 out of 100, which is considered good credit. So you can get $50,000 EIN only credit because you have an 80 Paydex score. They'll give you that much money, no problem. If you're doing this to build credit and you're not just paying as agreed, let's say we start paying all of our stuff 15 to 20 days early, you might get a 90 or a 95 Paydex score because 65% of your business credit score is based on what's called paid as agreed. It's not based on whether you keep your credit card utilization down or how much you use it, or if you pay extra a little bit above the minimum. They don't care. They want you to use the credit card, and they only care that you pay as agreed. And if you pay early, they love that even more. They'll give you a higher score for that. And your business lending processes are based off your credit score, so that's what counts. So we're going to build your business credit score by structuring credit data points on your business credit profile so that your next sequence of approvals will be approved. You'll be able to finance vehicles and even real estate entirely through your business using your EIN only without offering a personal guarantee or any usage of a social security number or ITIN, foreign tax ID number. So it truly is the answer. It's unlimited wealth through EIN only business credit.
So are you, again, we're a small business, right? I also have a ton of real estate people that listen to the podcast that I'm in connection with. Obviously my business is in real estate. So who would you say is the target? Who could benefit from this the most?
Well, we have a variety of programs with different lenders. I'll go over the top 3 right now. The biggest number and the biggest opportunity for somebody is to get $20 million in EIN only credit for the purpose of mergers and acquisitions in your field. Now, this means literally you can buy your competition because they're making money. If you were to have a small business, we could guarantee you $50,000 of EIN only credit. That's it. That's the guarantee. We'll get you $50,000. We'll get you funded if you have an LLC and you have a Paydex score of about 80 and a few other criteria, but it's not hard. We can get you there in less than 90 days. If you had an aged LLC of a few years or more and we structure your credit data points, we can get you $250,000 or $500,000. So $50,000 to $500,000 for small businesses. With real estate investors, we have real estate-based lending for fix and flips and BRRRs, buy, refurbish, refinance, and rent. We can do those up to $1 million. Now, if you had 2 real estate investment LLCs, you could pull $2 million. Now, all these numbers are per LLC. Now, this means if you truly had the structure, you could get multiple $20 million on multiple LLCs for the purpose of acquisition in different industries. So the door is wide open. The opportunity is there to become recession proof, but it starts by making a commitment. You have to resolve to have personal credit and business credit that is just excellent. And it's really a decision, because once you decide that's what you need, you're going to have made the decision that it's worth paying and going past the paywall for the information that's not free. That's what I did, and it changed my life. And then I did it again to learn how to make an online course, which 8 weeks later has put me in a position for the first time to be able to effectively teach and live the lifestyle I've always wanted to do, while also expanding my business. So the lifestyle's there, the business is there, but the community and the people that you meet along the way, that's why I'm doing it, because I'm meeting some fantastic people every day. I would have never gone in the new directions that I've gone this week if it wasn't for the people that requested my book, signed up for calls to join my beta group, and join the Build Biz Credit Report beta group. I'm just on this momentum. I feel like I'm on fire, where it's like NBA jams and you score 3 times. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, of course, of course. I come from that world, no doubt. So that was going to be my question, is in this particular instance, the thing I always ask guys in your position, right, is that, because you see this a lot, and this is the part that I think is important for people, is, and this is the main event for me, is that I always see these guys, right? If you flip on your YouTube or Instagram, there's going to be some guy trying to sell you how to, drop ship with Amazon. They're going to show you how to arbitrage with Airbnb. They're going to try to like all these quick fix money making things are everywhere. And I want to be clear to the audience, not that those things can't work, right? They absolutely positively can. But I never understood why somebody, if it worked at the level that they're possessing or showing that it works, why they wouldn't just be going harder at it themselves, right? And so it's one of those things that really is a very perplexing thing in our world, is because everybody's got something to sell, everybody's got something to do, and I will always want to ask those people, and I've tried to get a few of those guys on my show, and they usually book and then they fall off for some reason. But at the end of the day, the only question I ever want to ask them is why do you want to teach this? Why do you want to show people? Why is this important to you? And so to you, I mean, and I'm fortunate.
Is that for me? I'd love to answer that one. That's a great one. I was waiting to answer that one.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I don't want other people to wait. If you had something horrible happen and you had to declare bankruptcy, or you had student loans or medical debts, or you thought your credit was toast, and it's like you're like, I can't do anything now. Well, you don't have to wait. You can simply set up a business credit profile, and in 90 days, go for funding. You see, business credit grows quicker and you get higher limits, and they don't care if you use all the credit limit. They only care if you pay as agreed. It's just perfect.
Yeah, I think that there's, in our world, again, being coaches and teachers of any kind, or a mentor, and is really what you are in the world of business credit and how it works, especially. But it's disseminating knowledge, right? It's taking the knowledge that I have and packaging it up in a way that is consumable to other people, so that they don't have to spend 40, 50, 60, 100 hours on YouTube or wherever, and then failing and learning why they failed and come back, right? It's taking the knowledge, it's taking the expertise, it's taking the hours, it's taking the failures, and finding a way to package it up in a way that now it's consumable to the people. It's consumable, that they can understand the knowledge, they get it, and not only that, but they can actually use it and better their business, which ultimately betters their life, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
At the end of the day, that's what we're here for. At the end of the day, that's why I do this, is for one reason open. I hope you get something out of today, right? And you turn it around and you go use it, apply it to your life so that your life gets better. Because if that happens, then we're helping people become the best version of themselves. That helps. We're helping people optimize their life so they can be their optimal version of themselves. And that comes in so many different fashions. And in today, if you if you haven't been under a rock, it doesn't matter. I mean, we just came through COVID. We got we got incredible inflation. If you're in the real estate market, the interest rates are, all these things are out of our control. But what's in your control is controlling how the money flows and that you have some of it, right? You building up a profile that allows you to be in a position to grow your business, which ultimately grows your family.
Yes. Yep. That's well said. Yep.
And so what I want, I mean, again, so how do people, you gave them some really good insight in, a little high level view. So how is it that they can get directly in contact with you if they want to learn more, if they want to be part of this, if you're a struggling business or a struggling real estate investor right now looking for capital, and you need it, how does somebody like that get a hold of you? How do you want them to get in best contact with you?
Okay, I gotta say, I'm very open to the global audience that I have. I have on Facebook about 1.2 million followers, and I interact with everybody that messages me. On Instagram, I am Chairman Hafiz. It's at Chairman Hafiz. So there is a website, and it's going up in full feature over the weekend. It's located at the bottom of the screen, www.buildbizcredit.report. And I really would prefer if you contacted me directly on my social media as well as going to the website so we can start a conversation. I'm open to answering your questions and guiding you throughout your journey. I do have a course. My course is about building business credit in 90 days so that we can get you access to 6 figures of business credit using your EIN only. And at the conclusion of the course, I will take you to get funded. So that is my offer, and the details are on the website. It's a no pressure type of deal. I'm taking 10 students, and we start up on February 1st. In fact, I'm offering 50% off for the first 10 students. If anybody had questions and they just wanted to ask me a question, go ahead and do that. And I'm going to drop my actual number. This is my personal phone. You can text me on SMS, and it's 587-974-3506. 587-974-3506 for Chairman Hafiz. And I'd love to answer any of your business credit or business funding questions.
Beautiful. And we'll have all that in the show notes and everything logged in below as well. So good. So any parting words, Hafiz? Again, I thank you so much for being here. Your story, and again, our audience, we understand more than anything is that, getting to where learning the story, man, and learning about your parents and everything that you guys have gone through, and even for you, finding your way to the green card, and look at all the little things that happen along the way that you just, again, when I open this conversation, always I say, that we get to meet incredible people, that through their perseverance, their grit, that they're forging their best life and really becoming the best version of themselves. And you're a testament to that from the very beginning. But the truth is, the end of the best version of you is that I believe is when we get to the point that we've persevered, that our grit, that all of the things that we've overcome, and we've had a bit of success, and success is defined on each individual, is that now that we get to give it back to others. And that's what this is about, right? Is the ability to help other people and others. So, man, I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that that you're doing and that you'll continue to do.
I appreciate you, Jeremy. Thank you for inviting me here.
You're welcome. So I can't let you go without this final thought. All right, we do it. We every show we end with what I call quick hitters, and I'm going to give you a word, and then I just want you to tell me what it means to you and how you want it and how you see it. Okay. The first word that I always go with is discipline.
Wow, that's a good one.
What does discipline mean to you?
Well, you have to wake up every day and chop wood and carry water.
Yes, sir. I'm looking. Hold on.
Awesome.
Right on the bookshelf, man.
Great minds think alike.
I love it. All right. The final word is impact. What does impact mean to you, and what is the impact you want to leave on this world, man?
I am empowering 10 people from February through April. By May, you will be one of the 10 people that's empowered to teach this knowledge and this skill to 10 more people. I'm teaching 10 people so you can teach 10 people. And if any of your students teach 10 people, you will have helped me reach my goal of creating 1,000 new millionaires through the use of new business credit, fresh business credit, EIN only business credit, just for you. So if you want to be one of the 10 people, there's still time to get in the beta cohort at 50% off. Hit me on Facebook or Instagram for more information, or drop your email address at buildbizcredit.report.
Boom. There it is. The ripple effect, my man. Again, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you're doing. I can't wait to see those 1,000 people. You know, you build 1,000 millionaires and everything else that you're doing for the real estate side too. So again, I'm going to say one last time, thanks, Haviz. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Jeremy. Thanks a lot.
All right, brother. And to the rest of you, get your ass out there and be the best version of yourself.